don't have any clothes that I want to wear anymore. I've worn these shirts to death. Just single color t-shirts. Totally autistic. I've actually been thinking that maybe I would just buy one outfit, a straight pair of pajama bottoms that don't look like pajama bottoms, and then a t-shirt, and just buy 7 of the same thing, just to make my life easier. Steve Jobs did it. Why can't I do it? Yeah. It'd be cool to be like a tourist thing for people if they come to Salt Lake. Like, oh, you gotta go to this guy's studio. I'm gonna get my garage. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have everything I want. I'm gonna learn how to weld and give me my own little art factory. My name is Logan Madsen. I'm 36 years old and I have Miller syndrome. I am one of fewer than 30 people in the world with the disease. Miller is a genetic condition that affects my entire body. My hands are small and I'm missing a finger from each. The ones I do have are bent and don't straighten out. My forearms are short, and when I was born, they were bent at a 90-degree angle. That required several surgeries to straighten out. I was born with a cleft palate and no lower eyelids. My ears are small and I have to wear hearing aids. To date, I've had about 25 different surgeries. At 26, I was diagnosed with a form of high-functioning autism. I also have a lung disease called bronchiectasis. This poses an imminent threat to my life.
It's sort of an impulse I see that you're always trying to explain things. Why does everything need to be explained all the time?
I need to know why things are the way that they are. I need to know why the rules are the way they are. I need to know why I have so much pain. It's because of all of these little reasons that without those reasons and being able to explain those reasons, it's like, well, you see me paint well and you see these amazing paintings. You're not disabled because you paint.
I've got pictures of him drawing on scratch paper and wood, and he seemed like he's been drawing since I can remember, as soon as he could do it. And then something clicked, and not sure what that was. But yeah, there was a time where he went from being just somebody who doodled and kind of played around with it to something that was very, very real and real interesting and brilliant. And I don't think it came from a lot of professional training. I think he created this basically on his own.
He's creative, he's inventive, he's of course an amazing artist, someone who sees a lot of detail, someone who loves animals. Logan can hurt over an animal easily. He can feel his emotions when it comes to an animal much more easily than he can a person.
Right, can you roll over? Roll over. Oh, what a good boy. Can I do a high five? Oh, good boy.
I think this art, he's getting it out there and saying, okay, I'm okay with it now. So that's a change. He had a hard time with that between him and his sister. when he was around his sister, he felt like it was in his face and he couldn't be as normal as everybody else. So that was an issue for him. Yeah. A lot more for him than it was for Heather.
My older sister Heather also has Miller syndrome. There is only one other set of siblings in the world with this condition.
They've got men on the string, Meier. There must be something terrible.
She lives 2 floors above me. She'll come over on Sundays. I have to set up my living room, make sure a glass of water is already ready. But, she never has her shoes on. She just comes down.
Yeah.
We read. Something she would enjoy doing is learn everything and read and read and read. You don't want to be like, we're not the same, and have people go, oh, no, yeah, you are the same. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, we don't live similar lives. We live in totally different trajectories and realities and needs and goals.
Yeah, some of our needs have a different priority than
Right.
other
Priorities.
needs. And our perspectives have different priorities. And that's what makes our experience different.
Yeah. Useless tool. You should be always looking at me.
Oh, well, I'm autistic.
But see, if I had one on, it would be fun.
That would be weird.
Don't you think it would be fun it's just so much fun. All right. All right. Good job, bud. That was awesome. Good job. Because I've always wanted to document how I do things and what it looks like and how hard it is and everything. And so this is my baby. I've never named it. Click. All right, we're filming. I'm close enough so the audio works. And honestly, I've refrained talking to it because I'm actually scared, like really scared, not joking scared, but really scared that it will become an addiction for me.
But what's the value in the footage that you collect with it? What's the impact?
Well, ultimately, it's for when I'm dead.
Hi, how's it
Hi,
going?
good, how are you?
Baby's not with you today?
Nope, doing the chores, errands.
More in the way than not, huh?
Yeah,
All right, Logan, we'll see you next time.
alrighty.
Take it easy.
Thanks. So could you describe the numbers again?
Sure. So 0, you never or rarely will do it. 1, you can do it but not well, so you need a lot of help.
Okay,
2, you can do it fairly well, so you just need a little bit of help.
alright,
Or 3, you do it very well, almost always independently.
okay.
Okay, so Logan, can you pick up small objects with one hand, like a paper clip?
That's very, very, so 1 to 3. 1,
Can you transfer small objects from one hand to another?
2,
Can you pick up and carry a full paper bag of groceries at least 20 feet and set it down without using handles, like hugging it?
1,
Can you turn knobs or handles to open a door?
2. Why?
Can you put small objects into a container and take them out again?
2. Okay.
Can you scribble or mark with a pencil or a crayon on a sheet of paper?
3.
Do you complete all of your toileting tasks on your own?
Uh,
Do you want me to help you with this one?
Yeah, I mean, because obviously I do it, but it's one of the most difficult things that I have to do every day.
We got Logan a day. Mm-hmm. It goes on his toilet, so it can help him clean himself because his arms are so short. Mm-hmm. Can you receive bills in the mail and pay them before they're overdue?
2.
Can you balance the checkbook monthly?
He has a beautiful color of hair. It's actually quite rare. I can't remember which side of the family that comes from. When Logan was born on April Fool's Day, I wanted to call my friends and tell them before they heard it through the grapevine. And so I called them and I said, you know, I got my boy and he's just like Heather, but he has red hair because his hair looked much redder when he was born. And they'd say, April Fools, right? I said, no, really, he's just like Heather. When I was pregnant with Logan, and I would be praying, God bless it, everything will be okay. And the baby will be a boy, because it would be easier for Heather to have a boy that doesn't have any problems than a girl who's like cheerleader, and here's Heather all disabled. So suddenly I thought, who am I to tell God what's best for Heather? So then I said, I'm blessed that I'll have whatever's best for Heather. And of course, I was thinking boy or girl. I wasn't thinking a child with disabilities. I got pregnant with Logan because I was told that it wouldn't happen again, and I believed it. I believed it wouldn't happen again. So it was just unbelievable. The doctor pulled him out, and here's these same bent arms. It was absolutely shocking, but I loved him immediately, and I so wanted him to live, and I was so afraid that he wouldn't live. The pediatrician, who had a really light attitude about things, slapped me on the leg, and he said, congratulations, you just made medical history. And I don't remember being offended by that, but when I tell the medical students that, you hear this,
There you go. Dinner's.
Start breathing.
Walked out of it, blew it. I'm gone. Good night.
Do you have any idea how many pills you take right now?
Pill-wise, it's like, what, like 15 pills?
Try to then explain to us, what is this pain that you're living with? Where is it?
I'm not sure if I can sit like this, but I really need to because it's causing pain in my back. So I need rests. I need arm rests. So ideally, I would rather have a table here so I can lean on it. I need to be able to lean my weight on everything. Whenever I can support my back, that's what I need to do.
Is the back where you have the most of your pain?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, you know, short arms, you have to reach for everything, reaching into my pocket, opening a door. Almost everything that I use tool-wise or even what I sit on, or every single aspect about my environment is customized in some way. One of my bedrooms I call the art lab, and it's my shop. It's where I build things and customize my chairs and other things in my apartment so that it helps me live life more easily. the thing that makes me happiest on this planet is to work in that capacity and with my hands, working with my hands. Being that there's tons and tons of artists that do way more amazing work than I do, that is really the only thing that makes my art special is Miller's. And then ultimately whatever I'm doing is sort of special and rare, and I'm not going to be doing it for as long as you're doing your human life. But also I'm just inspired by every, if my eyes are open, I'm cropping a picture. So everything is very important to me, all the colors and lights and composition of things.
Can you tell us about this project you're doing, how it came about, and
What, the syndrome series thing?
yeah.
What it really was is actually a little bit more of an offensive stance. I almost wanted to do it to offend more than, to do the shock and awe sort of thing. People stare, I stare, and so I wanted to do paintings so people can stare all they want. So this is it's called A Window into Autism. I just got the dates for the show next year. It's in April. I told her I wanted it at the end of the year, but it's in April, so fuck! Okay. I'm seeing I'm trying to prepare myself to get 35% of what I want.
So how many pieces do you have completed, or in the works even?
11. So I know that all the paintings will sell eventually, but will they sell that night? I think I'm a little spoiled with my last show. I want a real studio, I want a building, I want a gallery. Yeah, I've got goals, I've got a lot of goals, and it's the first time ever that I've had any goal that was longer than what am I going to do tomorrow. So it's nice. It's nice. We had gone to Gallery Stroll, Mom and Heather and I, a couple times, and so we were talking to the art director. I would show her the pictures, the flower portraits, and, she's like, well, you should sign up, and so Mom helped me sign up and fill out their form to submit, and she gave me the date in 2006, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing, but it was bothersome to me that it was a gallery centered around disabilities, so it's sort of not a real show.
Yeah, so that show, people showed up and you sold every painting. Talk about that.
Yeah, we sold every painting. Only part of the reason why I did flowers in the first place was because I know that they were, something that can sell, something I can reproduce, but it wasn't the driving force. The driving force is just that I love flowers a lot.
Heather Madsen, another kindergartner this year, shows this clever knicker set, which features clever black and white striped pants, topped with a black and white checkered blouse. Heather, I think you really look terrific.
My name is Heather Madsen. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology from the University of Utah. As a writer and public speaker, I present how I accept and overcome my challenges of everyday life through writing of prose, poetry, as well as inspirational speaking. Growing up, I didn't have a strong desire to have friends. What I care about are the people who get to know me. And I have my brother and his friends, and I was very content just living my life that way. The differences in my eyes or my ears or my facial structure, that doesn't really impact how I see myself. People who don't know me and see me for the first time, they're going to have their reactions, and I'm totally fine with that. And it's not a big deal for me. So I enjoy what I like about myself.
Heather's waiting for Tarzan. When she was born and they put her on my stomach and I saw her bent arms and I thought, something's wrong with her arms. And right away I went into denial. No, nothing's wrong with her arms. They're going to be fine. They're going to straighten out. No, something's wrong with her arms. No, they're fine. And then I heard Terry say, what's wrong with her arms? And then I knew for real something was wrong with her arms. And I said, I don't want this baby. And he said, I don't either. They wheeled us to our room where Terry's mom and dad was, and they were really active Mormons. You know, I wasn't a perfect little Mormon girl, so I always felt kind of guilty around them, you know. And his dad said, you've got to remember, there's a perfect little spirit inside that body. And that just made me feel worse about and no one knew what I was thinking except Terry.
Yeah, that was a bizarre day. That's the day that changes your life. None of the doctors have seen that particular anomaly. So they're telling us things that they think this is what it is. And so everybody's kind of up in the air and everybody's kind of just going, huh, what's going on? The second one was a piece of cake. Logan's was just a rerun. We had no indication that was going to happen. But when he did come out like Heather, the rest of it was just like a replay. Okay, go from one operation. We already knew what the operation was going to be and what it was going to entail, and we knew what the next operation was going to be, and so it was a lot easier. We had to learn how to snake a tube down their nose into their stomach, and that was always a trick because they'd go blue, so you'd have to pull it back out, reset the tube, and make sure you got it into the stomach, you know, and you got better at that. And then once we get to a certain point where we just leave it in and we just tape it to their cheek and tube feed, you know, we just did what we thought we could do. We didn't have control. Debbie would take the day shift and I'd take the night shift. There were some operations that both went in at the same time. We just lived in hospitals. When the operations had come, you'd go back in and get ready for the duration, and that's what you did. And you know, life expectancy wasn't all that good. We signed an autopsy report the first day, you know, he was born. So from that day on, it was all borrowed time, and has been. So there was never any like 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, 20 years. Because it was so new. Doctors didn't really know what was the process.
So what's going on in this painting?
Well, I am expressing pride in having challenges that I have.
What do you think the reaction is going to be to this show?
I hope people are amazed. I hope that I would love to have at least one person's life be changed. That would be nice.
Is your dad going to come?
Yeah. He'll come, and I'm sure he'll take credit for everything.
What do you mean?
I think he lives in this weird world where whatever goodness comes to me is because of him. That's just the delusion that he deals with.
What do you think you do share in common with your dad, though? Because there must be some.
Everything. My character is the exact same as his. He's got swagger, and I've got that too. You know, he's very good socially, but I've been forced to think other than myself in my life. Because he's a great guy and everything, and he can actually have really deep conversations, but they go nowhere fast, and they usually stop at, yeah, it is, I know it is, because I know it is, because I know.
Terry just really broke at that time. We were both really sad, but Terry was just heartbroken because this was his little boy, where life was going to be harder. And I just think any religious faith that either one of us had was just completely shaken. Terry's dreams were to have a house, a black car, and a black motorcycle. And before Logan was born, we had a house, a black car, and a black motorcycle. And after Logan was born, with all the medical expenses, sold the motorcycle, black car got repossessed, and now we were losing our home.
And I went through a dark period, you know, where I got real depressed and lost it and couldn't get out of bed and fought depression, and because it was after Logan was born, and just everything was so mundane, so useless. We were pretty much bankrupt, and there was no way out. This was a lifetime of this, and there wasn't any way to make it good, or make anything good, or make anything right. Debbie was taking care of both the kids, and I was basically non-functioning.
When he came home, the best way to describe Terry is that it was like having a picture on the wall. His body was there, but he wasn't. And I didn't know how depressed he was. I didn't know that he was thinking of suicide at the time. Here I am, la, 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 la. I have my family, I have my kids, I have my husband, we're so in love, everything's so perfect. And how can he tell me, how can he even talk to me, really? He started working at this company, and then, you know, all the signs that you start to see of your husband being unfaithful, you know, like they start to dress up more, they start to wear cologne. I'm not using her name intentionally. Well, her name was Debbie, so.
Another Debbie?
Yeah. She was a car show model. So we went to a few of those as kids too, which is probably why I kind of like them. Because I just kind of like, I don't have any reason why I have this yearning to go to a yearly car show to see all the new cars, but I do. It's because of that.
I knew that Debbie modeled in bars and stuff. So I called the modeling agency and I asked where she was modeling that night, because that's where Terry would be. I can't believe that this is happening. I'm just a robot. I drive into the parking lot and I just sit there and I wait. Then Terry and Debbie drive up in her little Mustang, they park the car, and they walk inside together. And I'm still just on autopilot and can't believe this. It's very surreal. So I get out of my car and I start walking toward the door, and I stop at their car and it's unlocked. So I get in the car and I'm just sitting there trying to get a grip on this reality. The ashtray is completely overflowing with cigarette butts. It's just this whole other world to me. I sat there for I don't know how long, and then I get out and I walk into the airport Hilton, and there's a bar in there. And the opposite end of the room is a little table in the corner, and Terry's sitting at the table. And I walk in, and he sees me, and he waves like, "Hi, I'm over here," as if he's expecting me or something. And I just, like in the movies, I turned and I started running out.
You know, I was either going to kill myself or get divorced. You know, I had to get out of a situation that was purely, in my mind at the time, self-preservation. And it didn't matter where it went. It was just going to be better than the path that I was going that way. So, and I don't know if she even knows all the infidelities. So,
There were multiple.
oh, yeah, I've been that way my whole life. It's just part of my life. I have been up till this is my third marriage. So, yeah. That's the only time I've been faithful. Is that the word? Yeah. So.
I was just devastated. I could hardly function. I went out to my mom's, and she'd watch the kids for me, and I just could hardly even move.
Yeah, can you imagine? You know, got two kids, and no income, just totally. Nothing. She's got almost no way out of this thing. So she's the miracle worker there. How she got out of that and did that, and still kept her sanity.
Do you have guilt about what happened?
No, don't believe in guilt. Don't have guilt. I'm not sure when that went away, but that's part of my philosophy. I don't believe in sin. Don't believe in guilt. Don't believe any of that type of stuff because there's nothing to it. Guilt is a useless emotion. Can benefit nobody.
You know, Mom has theorized that he's got a lot of guilt for some reason about like being the cause of it, of Miller's, or like clearly he's not, but it's like he feels responsible for it. When he was living here still, when we were very little, we saw him I believe it was every other weekend or something. We'd swim in his pool, have a bologna sandwich, watch him smoke. Him and Debbie would smoke. And so he's always been sort of this friend to me, a guy that I like to hang out with. I mean, I was very connected to my dad when I was younger. And
you know, to be honest, it was devastating that Terry had an affair, and it blindsided me. But having him move away so he couldn't take Heather and Logan every Wednesday night and every other weekend was extremely hard. It was just as hard in a different way because I had no relief. I had him all the time. I had surgeries by myself. It was so hard when he left and went to Michigan.
all right, I just thought I would take a minute. I'm gonna have surgery in about an hour. Second one. I don't know if it's gonna be as bad as the first one, but I'm not looking forward to it. My eyes still hurt, so. All right, Ma, I need you to tie this thing.
Logan's getting the screws taken out of his ankles today, and he's going to get some medicine that's going to make him sleepy, so he wants us to take a video so he can see how goofy he acts. Yeah, he was pretty funny last time, that's for sure. Logan got his magic medicine 15 minutes ago. He's feeling pretty darn good right now.
I mean, I feel like it's not working, but I mean, it might.
Heather's enjoying the show.
I love this. It is funny.
I didn't remember anything at one time. I didn't.
Okay, sit down. I hear footsteps. Is that better?
Yeah. Well, now it's too much.
Too much?
Ow, ow, ow. Rub my ankles.
Okay.
Better drop than I can.
Water? Oh, now it's on. That's too bad. I thought it was on the whole time. Too many buttons, Logan.
It's 2 buttons.
There's 3 buttons.
You missed everything.
Oh, well.
Oh well.
I tried. I asked you to
No.
turn it on or to help me, and you were in too much pain, honey. The easiest camera to operate in the world has 1 button.
1. That's it.
There's 3 buttons.
You know, Dad talks about the reason why he cheated is because every time he looked at Mom, he just saw what he couldn't be, and saw what he couldn't deal with, and it's like to a T exactly what I'm dealing with. You know, when I see Mom or when I'm around Mom, I feel incapable.
Probably all right.
Hi. Oh,
Happy birthday.
Logan. Thank you.
I mean, it's not easy to admit my love for her and admit how amazing she is and how much she's gone through. There's just not any bad things to say about her, which is why it makes it so much more difficult for me that I can't express that to her. Dear Mom, I love you. I know you're going to miss me and Heather when we are gone with our dad. Well, I'll see you when we come back. I love you, Mom, from Logan to you. I love you, Mom, from your loving son. With a heart.
Does it make you feel good that you actually wrote me these love notes and showed me love at some point? I mean, do you ever feel bad that you were so mean to me in high school?
I was having problems.
Okay. When Logan was the most tormented about being angry that he was so dependent on me, and he hated it, and he hated me, he told me that sometimes he would imagine killing me. Because if I were dead, he could finally be self-sufficient, because he would be forced to depend on himself.
Right. I was also a raging alcoholic at that time.
Were you?
Yeah.
I was a loser. You know, I was a stoner. And I was thinking about suicide more often at that point, and Mom said, "Why don't you move to Palm Springs?" And I'm like, that's an idea. So I sold everything and moved down to Palm Springs. You know, pot was a lot easier to get and a lot better. I started working for my uncle's landscaping business. Super hard labor, you know, shoveling 15 tons of sand and like 15 tons of gravel. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I mean, I was feeling pretty good about myself, you know, I was feeling like a man, you know, I was doing man's work and getting high. It was great. But the depression caught back up with me. One of their helpers gave me the cocaine or whatever it was, speed. He also hooked me up with a hooker for $20. I mean, it's a weird kind of gross memory, but it's still sex, and it was exciting, you know.
Did you ever tell your mom?
Oh, of course.
What did she say?
She just, you know, I don't know what kind of reaction it was. It was just kind of like, oh, really? You know. She, as always, is more concerned about me being happy than anything else. My favorite picture of all of my pictures. It's my favorite.
Logan put it in an interesting way yesterday to me where he says, I was writing love letters almost like she was my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted was a girlfriend.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't have a girlfriend.
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yeah, I had one girlfriend. It was Jessica.
How old were you then?
I was 16. We met online.
What did that relationship with Jessica mean to you at that age?
The world was a great place. We dated for 2 years and then sort of had friends with benefits for third year.
We're up at the Spruces in Big Cottonwood Canyon. Logan got Jessica and me up at a bright 6:30 in the morning to cook him breakfast. One reason that I got so involved in sex talks with Heather and Logan is that they have a disadvantage of attracting someone in a relationship because of what they look like. But when someone gets to know them well enough, if they're comfortable with their own body and if they're comfortable with sex, and if they are educated about sex, that they're going to be a really good sexual partner. And that if they're a really good sexual partner, that's going to be a plus.
So, but
That-
only one.
But only one relationship. Yeah,
Why is it something that you've pursued?
I have
How? Online?
online
And why is it not successful?
because they meet me and see me.
You said that he was a very happy kid. I mean, do you think there was an age where that went away and did it come back?
I don't know what age he realized he was different. He realized that his arms looked different. He realized his body looked different from other kids. And I think even though he was able to maintain a certain level of happiness because it was a habit by then to be happy, that began reality. Come on, Logan, you look so cool. Don't do strange things.
I've had so many bullies, packs of bullies. You know, you have a parent like telling their kid and pointing at me to stare. It's just like, what are you doing? But it's always happened.
Look at him try and jump on your lap.
Heather only recalls someone calling her elbows once. And that's it. Surely there was much, 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 much more than that. You know, the way her arms are, they can't straighten out. At her elbow, they're almost always sort of bent. And so when she walks, they just flap around like chicken wings. And that just petrified me, as though it was me that it bothered me that other people were seeing that. Like, she's different, I wasn't. But even the bullying that I did to her about her being different was not necessarily destructive bullying for her because of her autism. So thank God, because I was brutal.
Is this cool?
From snow-capped mountains to palms. To survive, I had to focus on the good. Sure, in a perfect world, la la la, Heather and Logan wouldn't have Miller syndrome or any of their challenges, and we'd have the same, quote, normal life that everyone else has. But because it's not that way, I look for the good.
Heather and Logan are having so much fun. They came back and got their sandals, and then they went way back out there, and then they came back and took their hearing aids off. They are just having so much fun. It's good to see them laughing, being carefree.
Even though he has a personality that has autism, a personality that has fears and anxiety and all that other stuff, he has a soul that has this deeper wisdom and this knowing, and it permeates through the personality that, you know, like the ocean. You have the surface of the ocean that's rough, but deep down underneath, it's calm. And that's Logan. That's Logan. This was for his exhibit in 2006, and he made basically it was his cards that we were putting flyers around town, but anything that we made for Logan's art, any of the early art that we were just testing colors, and I can't throw anything away. I just can't throw any of Logan's stuff away, because I guess I want to keep it for the same reason that Logan wants his art here, so that I will always feel his existence, no matter what. I'm just really glad that I believe his spirit will live on. Heather and Logan have a lung disease. That's the threat to their life. I've always known that Heather and Logan could die at any time. I did not think they would live past, certainly not past high school, not past junior high even. They were on antibiotics for 10 years in childhood to keep them from getting sick. And then they got allergic to the antibiotics, so they took them off of it. And then they put them in the hospital to try a IV antibiotic just to see if they could clear their lungs up. It wasn't even necessary. They weren't even sick. But they just wanted to see if they could just get them really clear for a while. They both lost more hearing. Gentamicin causes hearing loss. But I've lived my entire life knowing they could die at any time. Logan could get a cold today and he could be dead in 2 weeks. And I learned to live with the unknown in every category of my life. In money, in marriage, in religion, in death, in health, everything. because my life was so that big unknown. But it helped me learn to appreciate them. Every time I'm with them, it could be the last time I see them.
I was raised with mom unknowingly putting into my brain that I'm going to die early. And so that produced sort of a PTSD conditioning for me. So whether I am going to die soon or not, it feels like it. And the breathing makes it real. It literally feels like I'm going to die soon. The way that, how hard it is to breathe. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. A slow, suffocating death. And that sucks. And it's scary. I'm scared. I asked people about their spiritual experiences because I love to hear about them, feeling their deceased relatives, talking to them, seeing them. I just love stories like that. I choose to believe it because it makes me happy. I don't need evidence, I just choose to believe it. And if there's any way I can practice doing it so that I get really good at it when Heather and Logan's time comes, that's my intention, so that I can feel them, talk to them, communicate to them, hear them. We can all talk to them, but we want to hear them. We want to see them. But if I don't, it's okay. I know there's no death, just death of our bodies. So that's how I'll get by. I'll know that he's finally not suffering anymore. And I do live truly hoping that I outlive them, because I don't like to think of them being here in this existence with their challenges without me. I don't.
Yeah, post on Facebook.
Oh, those are good pictures of people. Oh, that's all. Okay, for a minute.
I'm a favorite.
Got you.
Hi, Heather. Wade Hammond. Nice to meet you.
It's fantastic for people who
How much do they cost?
Well, this one I got given to me for my birthday.
We're obsessed with ourselves.
I know, right? Yeah, I love myself. Probably a little bit too much.
That's all right.
So what does it mean for all of you to be able to have this every 2 years?
Awesome.
It makes me
good
feel more
to
normal.
everybody reconnect and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of all pick up where we left off.
yeah. And we could laugh and be silly and stupid without feeling like we're
Yeah.
gonna be judged for it.
At home, I feel weird because I look different than everybody else and people look at me. But I feel like I'm home and I'm normal when I come here.
I get to feel so normal. It's like, oh, yeah, you guys walk just like I do. And you move like I do. And that makes me feel good.
You don't have to impress anybody here.
Yeah, I like that very much.
I don't?
Yeah.
How many of you wear 2 hearing aids? Like at the same time usually?
I should, but
Yeah.
no.
Right.
Do you have normal hearing?
Oh, I have plenty of hearing.
Do you have normal, like, do
Yeah.
you have the normal range?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Lucky you.
Yeah, you're so lucky. Like, we're all lucky, right?
Yeah, we're all right.
When I am in a competition like piano, I always want to win to prove that if I can do it, you are normal, you can do it and better.
Right.
You have
I
to-
say that all the time.
You should have brought Kleenex. You were all over there crying with happiness.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, well, you broke the piano.
Send it to me.
Okay.
Oh my God. She's just done whatever she can to make us want to live life.
Heather and Logan are feeding the birds.
in our apartment.
They're coming into our apartment to get the bread.
Originally, to save herself and to save us, she's kept us separate from any other relationships. To depend on somebody and then to need them and not have them, it's way easier to just depend on yourself.
This is the Maui Prince Hotel.
Mrs. Lynn enjoying the beautiful view.
I was 8 when Mom met Lynn on a blind date through my Aunt Shelley. Lynn treats my mom like a queen. He loves her and he respects her. He's a professor up at the University of Utah. He's a geneticist.
He's a geneticist, but he didn't meet your mother having anything to do with you or Heather?
No, it was a blind date.
Hi.
So it was just pure serendipity that he was a geneticist. I mean, it's just kind of, it makes you wonder about things if you don't already wonder about. They both like to laugh about how the phrase postaxial acrofacial dysostosis came up on a first date.
But we don't always use it.
Currently, he is the chair of the whole genetics department up there, and that's sort of how we started talking, doing public speaking is through them. Mom's done it for about 20 years, but I've only done it probably the last 10 years. So he's influenced me in how to use the correct grammar, which is ultimately why I stutter and stop, because my brain is trying to think of the best possible word to use, as well as how to use it correctly.
At a genetics lab at the U of U, breathtaking discoveries are becoming almost routine. Now researchers like Dr. Lynn Jordy are going farther.
This is the first time that an entire family has had their entire DNA sequence determined.
You know, they separate all of the chromosomes in an attempt to find this specific gene of Miller syndrome. And they were just kind of trying to see if they can find it. They didn't know that they could find it. But I was not in need of knowing, and it just didn't really matter either way for me. But the thing that we discovered, the main thing, the one thing that I got out of it, is that there is very little chance that my offspring will have it. But it's nice to know that I can create a normal human being.
No thought, which is exactly the thing I want to do more in this life that's so hard for me to do, is to just be however it is. It's so hard, it's still hard. And even doing that, I'm still, I stutter and think, and I'm like,
no.
It doesn't matter where I put it, it's a piece of garbage. I'm still going, eh. At this point, there's a color that can go in the wrong spot, and this shape would be this way, and it's just literally drives me crazy.
Look at this. Oh, that's cute. Is this like incredible? Cute.
I've been getting a little paranoia
About what?
about being a target outside my apartment.
It's pretty safe here, I think.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay. That's right, I forgot.
Oh.
I really didn't make any plans to go, but
Right.
I figure you're gonna be doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
How many total things?
I think there's 15.
15.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Are you worn out or are you
Yeah.
pretty good?
Yeah, I'm worn out. I'm pretty shredded actually.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay, well I won't hold you up. Just wanted to call and wish you good luck.
Awesome.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, I will talk to you later.
Okay. Alright.
Alright. I love you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm actually glad because I get so angry when he's around and upset just because it's like, oh yeah, I know that. It's just bad energy. I think he's scared, to be honest. I would be.
Do you believe he's not coming? I mean, I'm suspicious. Like
Yeah.
maybe he's telling me he's not coming, but he's going to surprise you. Surprise!
It is strange that he's not coming.
It's very strange that he would just say, oh, and why aren't you coming, Dad? Well, because I didn't plan for it. Yeah, right.
Would you want to wear name tag?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Fantastic. I'm going to
Just
slap
stick
it on you?
me, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right. We're here. This is it. Right, just standing there.
It's incredible.
Thank you so much.
How do you get the
Players. Thank you very much.
Thanks. How many pieces did you sell in Syndrome Psychology?
I sold one piece. I don't think it reached people the way I want it to, but it doesn't matter that they sell right now. Obviously, it matters that they sell eventually. Otherwise, I'm treading water in life, and it's just not worth it.
What does it mean by treading water?
By not moving forward, not doing anything. Next year, sitting here in the same pants, watching the same shows, not having anything happen behind me. It just doesn't. It's not worth the struggle that I have every day. It's not worth it.
What is your ultimate goal with your art?
I want to change the world in a simple way. I want people to look at their lives as not so hard just that we're all dealing with being human. We all have to wipe our ass. A demoralizing activity, but we all do it. You know, homeless person to the president. So you look at someone and go, I know you had to wipe today. This is my puppy. Well, it's not a puppy anymore, but Charlie.
And you painted that?
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks real. Wow.
It looks like it could be a photograph. Huh?
Yeah,
Same
I
with the
thought
dog.
it was. How much is it again?
3,000.
You guys, what do you have to say to Logan?
Thank you, Logan.
Thanks for your time.
Really,
I know
really
it's
cool.
kind of boring.
He just said it's really, really cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
These guys are not easy to impress.
Oh, that's good.
I'll tell you that.
Well, hey, thanks for staying alert.
All right, so can I help you like put stuff away, or if you want
I'll
me not
get
to?
it.
I know things get pieces sometimes. I'm like, no, I'll do it because I know exactly how I want them.
I could never even imagine to be in his shoes or to be in his skin, to even be able to have a comment about it, because I just don't know. I haven't got as much empathy as I have, it's hard for me to even get into that place.
So do you think in some ways Logan actually really does understand you more than he even thinks he does?
Yeah, I think so. I want more, and I think he wants more too. So I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, I do. And so we'll play this out. This is quite a beginning, you know, from normal. So hopefully this is a process that continues. So
Are you sick of painting yourself?
It's still, every once in a while, it's very strange to me that I have these hands. It's just interesting the way my skin wraps around my fingers. It's interesting to me. That's what's weird, is to be able to be subjective and objective at the same time. I guess that's what encompasses the series, which ultimately is going to be a lifelong thing. You know, I want my building so that people can come to me. Perhaps it would be more of a communal thing than I even am anticipating. It seems totally opposite of the way I've been living for so long.
I get so excited when I think about Logan because I believe that our thoughts create our reality. I believe we have so much more control than any of us think. What we believe, what we think about every moment of every day, and I see Logan doing that. Logan's finding joy in believing that anything's possible and that he can have everything.